At 3 months, we also remind people to revisit the goals that they set when they started on this journey. People tend to be vague. They say, I want to lose weight, I want to feel better, I want to be more active. And we encourage people to get very specific with their reasons for doing or going through surgery. That's where your effort comes from, is what you're trying to achieve. So if you don't know what you're trying to achieve specifically, you do not, if you don't know what you're trying to achieve specifically, you don't put the effort in. For example, if you say, I want to lose weight, and you don't ever say, I want to weigh this or less. Or if you say, I just want to get healthy, but you fail to say, I don't want diabetes, or I want to get off of this, and this medication, you're still going to come up short on the effort.
Fluid intake postoperatively is very important. Maintaining that hydration is the key to that. So how do you do that? Well, we give everybody a range. You need to have 64 ounces of fluid a day. But you must know that that's a generic number that we throw out, and everybody's a little bit different. So how do you know when you've had appropriate fluids? One of the easiest ways to look at is just how you feel in general. Do you feel dizzy when you stand up? Do you have frequent headaches? Those types of things. Your urine is another very strong indicator. Your urine should be a very pale yellow and have almost no odor to it. As the urine starts to get darker, it's more concentrated. As it starts to have a stronger odor, again, your kidneys are trying to concentrate your urine and hold on to that water to keep you hydrated. One of the keys that I tell patients is it's much more difficult to get your fluid intake throughout the course of the day because you can't drink the same after having bariatric surgery. So one strategy is to get yourself a special cup, special mug, and take that everywhere you go. All sorts of different brands exist nowadays that allow that to stay cool for the majority of the day. And if you're taking it everywhere you go, every time you look at it, take a sip of that water. Throughout the course of the day, you'll be surprised at how much volume you can actually get.
You may have also experienced moments, either in a social setting or in family gatherings, where you've been forced to make decisions on foods that didn't necessarily fit into your goals. That's okay. All right. This is a surgery. This is a procedure that you're going to live with for many years. So getting comfortable in those settings, either where you deny having cake or cupcakes, or if you do have those cake or cupcakes, preventing yourself from going through a guilt cycle. And I think at 3 months, it's something that starts creeping back in. And what we encourage people to do is not get bogged down in the one-off decisions. If you get into a situation where you're going to have to eat pizza, it's okay. All right. Now, what we don't want you to do is to go home and then think that you've screwed things up or you've messed up by making this one solitary bad decision. Because if you go through the guilt process, you're way more likely to wake up the next morning and continue to make those bad decisions. So we want people, when you eat bad things, to look around, say, I ate that with really good people, I had a really good time, it was for a really good reason, it does not affect my pursuit of health and wellness, and avoid that guilt cycle. At the 3-month mark, you're also noticing that you're able to eat a greater variety of foods. That's a good thing, but also can be a bad thing. People tend to start experimenting with foods that they were eating regularly before they had surgery. So the chips tend to creep back in. The kind of the board foods, the grazing foods tend to creep back in. At the 3-month mark, it's a good time to reevaluate your eating patterns and what you're tending to choose in those between meal moments. Also at 3 months, you may notice that when you introduce new foods, you have reactions or side effects to them that you didn't specifically notice beforehand. For example, some people will say, hey, I didn't have problems with milk before, but now I'm experiencing some bloating. So it could highlight some of the intolerances. You may not be able to tolerate raw vegetables at this point. It'll get there. Keep intermittently trying salads and raw vegetables and things of that nature. And if you are having troubles with that and you think it's an issue, please reach out to us at this point.
There's 2 things that I see that are key for success long term. Number 1 is having a regular routine as far as nutrition and making healthy choices. Number 2 is having exercise a part of your life and making that where it just doesn't stop. you're losing all this weight, you're starting to do these healthier choices, and the key is don't stop doing that. And also, we want to follow our patients every 3 months the first year. We feel like that's the most critical time. We lay down good and bad habits. And so we're going to continue to follow you every three months and just keep challenging you, particularly on the nutrition and the exercise component.